Yep. Well, these beats again brought to you by The Passion Hi-Fi at thepassionhifi.com. That's The Passion, HIFI.com, and I Bang Beats, I Bang BEATZ, I Bang Beats. Yeah. Just want to talk about therapy, like something like this is therapeutic for me, you know, something that I have called therapeutic podcasting. And I was just sitting here and it was like, like, I think the TV has become our worst enemy. Like, you know, at least one of our own, one of our worst enemies. You know, you can be your own worst enemy. But that television, man, I was just thinking about it. And it's like, this shit is crazy. I'm sitting there and I'm actually trying to write, and I just come to the conclusion, or just the realization that, yeah, man, the TV is really like bad. It's just bad television, news, reality TV, social media, and just radio. Like everything that's it's so much negative images poisoning our brains, and it's poisoning our children. Our children are being targeted and influenced, and it seems like with each passing year, the target audience gets younger and younger, and it's like everybody's pushing their own agenda. You know, at times it's almost like you're being told what to think, how to feel, you know. And for me, I don't know if there's anybody out there like me, but I'm starting to think that my mind is diseased. and seriously, I mean, I actually wrote it down. Like, I was like, man, I'm sitting here like, and I know it, and I'm starting to realize it. Like, my mind is diseased by all the bullshit of the world. I mean, to me, that's what it feels like. Like my mind, or our minds are poisoned. Because, you know, and the only thing that I could think about was just like this podcast. It's kind of like my therapy. It's like therapeutic for me, you know. It's kind of like me finding something that has a positive psychological and social effect, you know. And like I said, with so much negativity going on, and the main thing is that the television, man, it's like it's a distraction. It keeps you from being productive. And then the more I got to thinking about it, it was like, man, you know what? That shit is kind of true. Like the TV is a distraction. It's to keep you in a slumber, to keep you asleep. You know, you sit down and watch your favorite show, and next thing you know, like 2 or 3 hours have passed by. It's kind of like, and I think that's why they call it the idiot box. You sit down and you veg out for hours on just bullshit that's on TV. Shit that don't even help you, like, be productive. You know, like most of these damn shows that's out, like I said, it's very counterproductive. It's like you're being distracted almost into a slumber. It's like the TV puts you to sleep, you know. And I'm actually finding myself falling asleep every night with the TV on, because that shit's putting me to sleep. Like, it's like, I think like as the older I get now, like TV has become like less and less of a thing to me. It's not a thing. It's like, okay, yeah, it's TV. It's like people ask me, oh, have you seen this show? And it's like, nah, I haven't really seen it. You know, if I get time to check it out, I'll check it out. But it's like TV is not a priority. But some people, they make it their priority to sit down and watch their favorite shows. And for me, it's just kind of hard to do, because now I'm like, yeah, when you got kids and you working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, hell, catching up on your favorite shows on a weekend, that shit's not even an option because it's still work to be done. You got other work to do. But I definitely feel like the television, and especially in this country, television has has become a distraction for the American people. We're not as productive as we once, as we used to be, But like I said, this podcast kind of, I think it's kind of therapeutic for me. And that's why I was like, man, the therapeutic effects of podcasting, like, kind of just putting my experience out there and what I'm going through. Just kind of, just going back, like I said today, and it just basically hit me, man. Once I got back home today, it was about 7 o'clock, 7:30. Got back home, took a shower, gave the baby a bath, and I just sat down and started writing, and and got some clothes ready for work. And then I started just sitting down and just started writing. And, all this other bullshit on TV. It's like I turn the TV on and it's like, you got the stuff that happened in Baton Rouge today, which was, another tragedy. And you flip through the channels, and of course you got your reality TV bullshit on VH1. That shit was on. I think my wife was watching that for like probably a good hour and a half. And I'm sitting there just writing, trying to come up with some ideas. And the thing is, it just popped into my brain, like I said, the television. And so I just got up, and next thing I know, it was like 10:30 and shit. And I'm like, damn, it's 10:30. And I didn't even really watch TV. And it wasn't a big deal, to me. And then my wife, she turned to some show at like 10:30 as I was getting up, walking out the room to come in here and record this. But it just seemed kind of crazy because it's like, well, and as she was explaining to me, it was like, you never watched this show with me. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But it just, to me, it just didn't seem like a priority. And so that's when I got up and came in here, and I was like, man, you know what? This TV is really a distraction. It really is. It really is. Like, and like I said, you go to work, 8 hours a day? Some people work 12, but just, like I say, the average person, 40 hours per week, 40 hours a week, and you're sitting in traffic for about, let's just say, an hour each way and back. And you got to think, it's only 24 hours in a day. So you got to take that 24 hours, and basically, you already know for about 8-9 hours out your day, you're going to be at work. So that's like I'll say about 8-9 hours out the day. Let's just say 8 hours. 8 hours out the day, you at work. Then you got like an hour there and back for traffic if you commute to work. So that's like 2 hours right there. So that's like, 10 hours? That's like 10 hours. And then you got to think, you get home. Or if you got to go get the kids, it just depends on what you got going on. You run errands or whatever. Let's just say you run an errand for about maybe a good hour or so. You got to run an errand. If you can, depending on what time you get off. Because sometimes you get off, some people work these jobs, you get off and some of these damn places are already closed, like banks. They're already closed. So that's about an hour right there. And let's see what else. Let's see. What, dinner? You got dinner. And dinner, let's say, if you got to make dinner. But the way I think it is now, I don't even really think nobody really cooking dinner now. Because, shit, I know my wife was trying to cook, and I was getting off. When we was all getting off at a pretty decent time. Which I still think it was pretty decent. But, hell, just coming home and trying to cook, that shit take at least about a couple of hours. So I think that's kind of like we live in this fast food nation. So let's just say for the sake of time, you go pick up some fast food, some takeout somewhere, sit down with the family, eat, and it's about another hour. And if you got kids, you probably got to get them ready. So, shit, you already at like, let's just say another hour or so. Get everybody, take their baths, go and get them ready for bed. About another hour, depending on how many kids you got. Let's just say right now you're at about 12 hours. Well, 12 hours. And, oh yeah, let's say about 6-7 hours of sleep. And I'm being kind of generous with the time, but shit, let's just say you get your recommended 8 hours. That's 8 hours right there. So we already at like, 20 hours? So that's already 20 hours that we already at. So that only leaves you with about 4 hours of personal time. And that means, shit, 4 hours of personal time. And you know what what we do with that 4 hours is sit there and we veg out in front of the TV for 4 hours a day. So with that little breakdown, I would say 4 hours of personal time after you do everything you're supposed to do, because you're at work for 8 hours out of the day, commuting for 2 hours or so, an hour to run errands, an hour for dinner, an hour to put the kids to sleep, then 8 hours of sleep, and it's about 4 hours. And that's if you're getting 8 hours of sleep, because some people ain't even getting that. Some people getting like maybe like 5 or 6 hours of sleep, just so they can have a little bit more personal time. But if you get your recommended 8 hours of sleep, I think it's 8 hours. I might be wrong, but I think, 8 hours. Shit, that only leaves you with 4 hours of personal time. And what you gonna do in 4 hours? Shit, especially when you getting off in the evening, the banks close, all that other shit. So I'll say 4 hours, and like most of us, what we do, we sit down in front of that TV, man. We sit down in front of the fucking idiot box, and we just veg the fuck out. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. We all get caught up. Hell, I even found myself getting caught up in it, But now I'm starting to realize, like, ain't that much shit on the TV that's really that important. You know what I mean? Like, and now that I'm starting to realize, like, successful people, the successful and rich people, they ain't sitting around vegging out in front of the TV for hours. Shit, man. It's like it's some kind of damn escape or something. And that's why I said I think my mind is diseased by all the bullshit of the world. And I think a lot of people, a lot of people could probably say the same thing. Like, our minds are diseased. It's like having a disease, man. It's like a crack addict needing like a fix or something. We all addicted to television and social media. And this social media shit is so damn crazy. It's like everybody, and it wouldn't be so bad, like, if people knew how to put that shit down. But people forever on social media, and it's like, damn, when do you do any kind of like productive work, but I think that's the thing now. Everybody's got their head in the phones now, and I think we don't. And my thing is, we don't know how to be social with each other anymore. I think, and I think like things like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I mean, those are good platforms to kind of keep in touch with people you haven't seen for a while. But I think too much of anything could be dangerous. And I think it's all dangerous, But this, like I said, this is kind of like my therapy now. I think this is like my new thing, like, and that TV, man, that shit's gotta go. And then financially, and it's draining, and not only is it mentally draining, but it's draining. Like $200 damn bucks for fucking TV, man. That's crazy. And I'm just now realizing, I'm coming to the conclusion that, yeah, man, this shit is crazy. Like, the internet, but I guess I guess we kind of getting a good deal, but I don't know. You know what? Nah, man, forget that. I'm not even gonna try to rationalize that shit. Like, it's too much for TV. I mean, $100 I think is too much for TV. Maybe I'm being a cheapskate, but you know, $200 something for some damn fucking cable. That shit is crazy. That shit is ludicrous to me. You know, and I'm just coming to the conclusion that, you know what, I got Hulu, Netflix, and then I think like Amazon Prime. I got like subscriptions to all that shit. So at this point, it's like, man, there's no need to pay for cable. Plus that shit with the TV, man. It's like I said, man. It's not being productive. I think that shit is it's a distraction. It's a distraction, man. It's a big distraction, and television, and like I said, and I think it kind of hinders us from getting out in the world and kind of seeing things, man. You know, it's kind of like, I think like when you watch television, you kind of looking into other people's, I guess, looking at other people, you know, looking into other people's lives and all that shit. We caught up on this thing of, oh, I want to see what they do in this part of the world. And it's like, well, you're watching this shit on TV. So watching it on TV, you're not going to get the full experience unless you actually visit these places. But, you know, we sit back from the comforts and, you know, the comforts of our own homes, and we watch these shows, and I guess we walk away with a sense of like enlightenment. But I mean, I think in order to be really and truly enlightened, you know, when it comes to you know, exploring, is to actually go to these places that you see on TV, because I mean, I think that's like the real deal. But I think TV, like I said, it's a tool. It's a tool that's used to dumb down America. That's what it is. It's a mindless mechanism to keep you, I guess, to keep you hooked, and it's to keep you hooked and disconnected from reality of what's going on. And some people would even argue, and this is kind of like my opinion, but some people would probably agree that the television is a weapon of mass destruction, or should I say, a weapon of mass distraction. Yeah, it's a weapon. It's to get us to stop thinking, and it's to dumb us down and get us caught up with all these pop icons, reality TV. You know, we get so caught up in that, it's like we're almost trying to like escape reality, because our reality is so harsh for us that we're trying to escape it. But it's definitely something to think about. Like I said, I just had to come in and record, because to me it was just like, to me this podcast, when I discovered it, or this podcasting platform, I discovered it, and like I said, it's become therapeutic for me. It's like my therapy, you know. I need something positive, you know, in my life. I need some positive stuff going into my brain, you know. Like I said, it's just, and you know what's so crazy? I think even the Pope had said something about it. You know, about something about like how the internet, smartphones, and TV is a distraction from what's really important. You know. We waste too many hours. I mean, we should be out trying to change the world. And like I said, I mean, I got caught up in it, and it's easy to get caught up in it, but sometimes you got to kind of check yourself. And and I guess this is kind of like me checking myself. It's just and I think we all need to kind of check ourselves when it comes to that, man. We're wasting too much hours, too much hours on this shit, and it just, I guess you could say I had like an epiphany of sorts, because our life, if you think about it, our life is made up of time. And like I said, and I'm not like a real religious person, but it's just I had to quote the Pope on this, like the Pope Francis, man, like Pope Francis, which I think was a really good thing, like a really good thing to point out. But in no way am I trying to be like religious, but basically what he was saying is that our life is made up of time, and time is a gift from God, and it's important that it be used in a good and fruitful actions, And so that right there kind of stuck with me about, about the our time being wasted. We sit around and just being consumers into all this stuff, but I think we need to definitely check ourselves about this, because who knows, man? With all this stuff that's going on, man, the world is crazy, man. It's crazy. And I think we should be trying to, leave a mark, leave an impact on the world, because what's going to end up happening is those 4 hours a day. And I just want to kind of go back to that, because I know I kind of got off a little bit, but, if you think about it, what's that, 4 hours a day? Shit, man, 4 hours a day. And let's just do Monday through Friday. That's like 20 hours a week. 80 hours a month. So pretty much, hell, that's like half of a damn work shift. If for a regular work week, if you're working 40 hours a week, that's like half of your work shift. So we need to, I think we need to just tighten up on it, man. We need to tighten up, because while we, here in America, while we watching TV, the rest of the world is kind of leaving us behind. And so, with that being said, they I found in like another article, which just 10 reasons to watch less TV, which is like becoming minimalist or something like that, becomingminimalist.com. But you check out the website, and it'll actually give you some tips or like some reasons as to why you should watch less TV. But it's an interesting article, and I can't even remember. I think Joshua Becker, he wrote the article. It's on, like I said, it's on becomingminimalist.com. And there was this one thing, one quote that I saw that was kind of crazy. And one thing they were saying, like, where like TV would never be a serious competitor for radio because people must sit and keep their eyes glued on a screen. Then it says the average American family hasn't time for it. But and that was back in like what posted in the New York Times in like 1939. I guess when TV was like, oh, people were like, oh, the TV will never be a competitor for radio. But like I said, all we doing is just, I think we're watching other people live their lives, and we're not living our own life. And that's one of the things I think what the article was saying. Like, it has a big influence on your worldview, And a lot of this stuff that goes on, especially on television, they don't accurately portray real life, So, and I think you can become disillusioned about what you can expect from the world that's around you. Some of our expectations, I think we kind of set our expectations a little bit high because for what we've seen on TV, but it has an influence on how you view the world. And then another thing too, financially, it has like an influence on your spending habits. Yeah, that right there, man. That right there, I think, kind of. Is a big one. I know it's a big one because, like I said, everybody's kind of pushing their own agenda, and what better way to push your agenda through television? You can tell people what to think, how to feel, and telling people how to spend. Being influenced by advertisements, corporations. They spend trillions of dollars in advertising just to be able to influence how you spend your money. I think, let's see, reason number 3, it takes you away from the real people around you. And I think one thing to keep in mind is that the characters on television, they're just that. They're characters. It's almost kind of like pro wrestling, man. It's like very scripted. These are actors, but a lot of people don't see it that way. You gotta kind of you gotta kind of keep that in mind when you're watching these shows, that these people are characters following a script. No matter how real it may seem, that it's just somebody in a room had a board meeting at some big network and figured, hey, we're gonna put this image of this character out here, and they breathe life into this character, and we sit back and we watch, as it unfolds, and we think it's real. Well, some people think it's real, and we kind of overlook, our environment where the real people exist every day. They're all around us. These real people are having real problems, real issues. And it's like, and you got people in the real world, and you got people depending on you just like you depend on them. I think it was this number 4. Yeah, number 4. Like 3. I guess number 4 of, the reasons to quit watching so much television is because it robs you of your mental energy. And I guess what's meant by that is that as long as that television's on, it's like your concentration is held. It's pretty much how like somebody's like being held hostage against their will. And I know it's kind of crazy to say because it's like you're not really being held hostage. against your will. But as soon as you turn that, hit that power button and you flip to that favorite station or that favorite channel, it's like your attention is like pulled away. It's like your attention gravitates towards whatever is on that screen, and it drains your energy slowly but surely. It draws you in, and you know how, like, when the commercials come on, everybody get up and run to the kitchen and go grab a soda or a snack or something, and they trying to beat it back in to the room before the commercials on. Unless you got like DVR where you can like, it's not DVR, but where you can like pause the show and catch up like that. But you still trying to get back in there so you can catch the show back up, fast forward to past commercials to catch back up and get right back into the show. And it's holding you hostage, so, I think we've lost our ability to control that aspect of our life, being able to control our concentration. The next one is, just like I said before, costing money. It's financially, it costing you money. And the interesting thing I think about this article, it was saying like how Americans, we spend over, the thing is, my thoughts is that, it's costing you money. And $200, a month, that to me, that's crazy. Paying that much for television. And but the companies have, and this is just my opinion, but I think the companies, they've gotten smart, because you remember before they went to digital, it was analog. You can get like a few channels for free. You didn't have to have cable television, but now they've kind of went to that digital signal, and you can barely get some of those channels, that you used to get without cable. Now you got to go get this special box to get the regular stations. It's crazy. But I think a lot of these cable and satellite companies or whatever, that's how they get, Americans to spend, over $6 billion a year, which is just for paying for like electricity, just to power that TV and that cable box or that satellite box, whatever. And then, you go in and then you add the cost of what cable service and all that stuff, it adds up pretty quickly. And, and that's like money that could be used on, who knows, something else, something, or just put back into a little savings jar or something. So, and another thing is, it's bad for your health, man. How many people sat around and become obese, sitting around on the couch, watching TV for hours on end, and eating and sitting down and lounging around. It's like a direct link between the two, being the obesity and television, next one is the effects. One of the effects is just you have like your satisfaction of with life. You become, less satisfied with life. We kind of look at it like, we have a lower life satisfaction. You're not happy, so it's kind of like I said, it's like a way to escape. And then another one is it has an effect on your sex life, and this is something that I found kind of interesting. Like it has an effect on you, like a negative effect on your sex life. You know, like having a TV in the bedroom can have like a negative effect on your sex life. So I ain't even gonna say nothing else about that, but let's see. The next one is opportunity cost is too great. And mainly it's just the time you spent watching TV, you could be doing something else. So it's like opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is just too great. It costs you a lot of opportunity. When you could have been doing something, I guess, to get like a better fulfillment out of life. Like I said, exercising, maybe going outside, reading a book. Like, I don't even think like nobody, like, I really don't know anybody that reads a book anymore. You know, like, I have books. I have a few ebooks that I read, but I'm kind of slowly but surely, kind of gradually. It's kind of like I said, it's like a drug, man. You got to wean yourself off of the TV, man, and social media. Slowly but surely, I'm getting there. And I kind of urge everybody else to do the same. You know, I'm trying to wean myself off of this shit, man. Just sit there and I see all my people watching TV, and it's like, that shit just makes me so damn mad. Like, and I'm looking at my situation, and it's nothing against anybody, but, just in my household, I think it's kind of crazy. Like, I'm sitting back and like, the shit is making me like mad. I could just feel myself getting angry. So that's why I had to come in here and watch this and do a podcast about this shit. Cause I was like really sitting there like being angry and shit, And it's like, damn, the amount of time we spend watching TV, it's crazy, So that's my little rant, I guess, on television. And like I said, man, I urge everybody out there to kind of just wean yourself off that shit, man. Just turn the TV off, man. You actually feel better, once you do. And like I said, for me, and I would say, like I said, just find something that has a positive effect on you, Find something that has a positive psychological and social effect, because the TV definitely is not it. TV and social media, sometimes you just got to step away from that shit, man. Put that shit down. Turn the TV off. That shit is crazy, man. Because like I said, just tonight, I could just feel myself like just getting angry and shit, because this shit is just not productive, man. It's distraction. It's a distraction, and you gotta watch the people that's around you too, because they gonna start getting kind of consumed in that shit, man. Like, and it's gonna have an effect on you in your household, So if you see anybody, see any of your people, like some of your family and friends, starting to get consumed with that shit, you just gotta let them know, like, hey, man, put down the remote, put down the damn cell phone, because everybody's getting so caught up in this digital age. And I think technology is good, but for all the good that is done, look at all the bad that is done. Just look at the motherfuckers on cell phones now. People texting and driving, like, man, that shit could wait. People watching TV, not paying attention to what's going on in their own neighborhoods, right next door to them. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, everybody's either got their heads in a phone, or everybody's too busy to talk to each other because everybody's watching TV. And it's like, it's crazy, man. And so I just urge everybody to just step away from the shit. Just step away. Put it down. Like I think, and like I said, man, you know, you see any of your people in your household, your family, friends, you're gonna probably have to have an intervention with them, tell them to put that shit down, man, because it's definitely something going on. It's poisoning our brains and the brains of our children, and as adults, we got to be like responsible, especially when it comes to the young kids, man, because these kids know every damn thing that's on TV, but damn, they don't know shit about they ABCs and 1, 2, 3s or whatever, you know. Some of these kids don't even know their own damn phone number or their address. But they could tell you about what show come on, you know. So that's my little rant. So check me out. Shoot, I guess that's it. I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Turn off the TV.